So finally we made it all along this side. So let's go now to the rear side. We have the rear side, the front, and also this lateral side here. So let's go here to the back and let's see what we have. Of course, we have a pen, and this one is pressurized, so that means that you can write in any position, and as you can see, it always works. This is not a special pen that you can try to use in plastic. For sure it will not work, and it is not more than a ballpoint pen, just like that, pressurized, so you can write in any position. It's very useful. I believe that this is one of the most useful things, because we live in a society where we interact in the city life, and then with this you are prepared to take notes, to write down little papers, to keep to someone. Perhaps you have to take notes, and sometimes the battery of the phone is gone, so you have this backup. Really good. Then the next thing is, of course, this toothpick, a really famous one from Victorinox since always. You have around 5 centimeters, and the width here is 3 and 1 at the top. So really useful for cleaning surfaces that you can go in between. Of course, if you're going to use it to clean your mouth, you're not going to be cleaning surfaces, but it is possible because it is flexible. You can see how flexible it is, and it's really thick too, so you can do a bit of force with it, no problem at all. The next thing we have here at the back is really a cluster, because we have 3 things at once. We have this screwdriver that is special for your glasses, and let me see here if I can measure it. Around 1 millimeter. Yes, really nice for glasses, works really well. The corkscrew, nothing to say, is really well positioned, so you can actually pull like this, and works really well, no problem. And then here you also have really hidden, finally I took it out, a pin, a normal pin, and this one has a size of, let me check, 3 centimeters. Yeah, 3 centimeters for a pin. You can also dig your skin when you have something that you want to pull out, maybe something that went under it that you don't want to, and this is really a good mechanism to work with, and really practical here at the back. Coming from this side down, we have the chisel, and this one I'll show you in a video next how you can use it and how effective it is. Enjoy. So for the next tool that I'm going to try now, I'm going to see the chisel. So in this case, both of them have them. So this is the SwissTool. As you can see, it's relatively big, and again it locks, so it will not cut my finger, it will not come back. And the Swiss CHAMP has it here on the back, and you can see the size is kind of twice. So again, this, ouch, as you can see, this doesn't lock, so you should be careful. I almost cut myself there. So yeah, let's try in this improvised setup here, and I will try to show you how well it digs, or it doesn't. Yes, it does here. Perhaps this is not any kind of job that you will do, but here you can see how it goes through the wood. It's no problem, and it's also really controlled because of the position that I have. Now let me try again with the Swiss CHAMP. This one I could use it like this too, but it's so tricky, and then again it closes, so the best way is like this. And of course you should be careful, because if you slip, then you're going to hit with your fist, and it's not going to be nice for your knuckles. So here, let's see, try to control. It digs more than the other one. Then again, this is also a new knife that I have, a new Swiss Champ, so for sure it will be sharper. But as you can see, I'm having problems with my fist. That is going to hurt here, and I don't have so much depth, and I have to find my way around to dig this if I have to work. So for sure, this one is more comfy. I cannot be so sharp because I have this tool for more than 3 years now, and this is relatively new. I never used this, so you can see also the sharpness difference, but this is still manageable and useful. By the way, this one has a width of almost 4 millimeters, I would say, here at the top. Let's go then to the next one, which is a bit harder to take, especially when I'm wearing gloves, is this screwdriver, flat one. I really don't see the purpose of this one, to be honest, because it could be a bit thinner. 2.5, it's not so much, and it's also relatively thick. I mean, it's good because you can go deeper than the one here on the top. So as you can see, this one you have a little bit, and then you have this chunk that you cannot enter. Well, this one you can go deeper, but I think if you can work with this one, then you actually don't need this. So I believe this tool here at the back is not so useful per se. I would save that space for something else. The one that is cool though is this hook, and theoretically this was a parcel carrier, because in the other times where the newspaper were sold and they were made parcels to be carried, they would tie with with threads, or really fine threads, yes, to make a package, and then you have to grab this package when you hand, and it would hurt your fingers, especially if you had to carry something which is heavy. So they invented this one, which is also really nice position in the center of the tool, so you can grab it like that, and then let's say this is the parcel that you have to carry, and then you carry like this, and then you have a really nice grip and works totally fine. I use it also to carry sometimes bags from the supermarket. When they are so heavy that they start digging into your hand, you can put the bags there, maybe 1 or 2 max, and then you can carry a lot more comfortable like this. Also, you can use it to if you are making fire in the woods and you want to pick your can of tea or boiling water, then you use this totally fine. It has a really nice depth. Let me show you the size. You have around 7 millimeters in width, and the hole is around 3. Yes, and from this point of view, you can see you have 2.5 more or less is how deep this hook is. So you can actually hang things from there without they falling out. So it's a really good hook, and it's a really good length also here. So from the top, more or less 3.5, 3.7. I cannot see because of the parallax error, but more or less 3.5 centimeters. Really good one, and can be more useful than you think. Also, if you want to change the chains on your bike, let's say it is really oily, so you can really maneuver with this and don't get your hands dirty, and use the hook. Really good one. Then the last one here, this one, punch hole. Then we I can show you because I was doing a video in the woods, and then you can see how good it works. I'm going to show you this later, but you can see this one has a hole which you can use to put a thread through it, and then you can punch, pull out, and then the thread will be sewing through the things that you want to punch. Really good one. Never used it like this, but I use this to create holes, and it works almost in every surface. This is really useful, and let me try this, something crazy. Let's see. The only problem that I see with this one is that, as I will show you in the video, this can bend, and it will not cut your finger because it is not so sharp, as you can see there. It's not so sharp, but it has a profile, so you have to be careful. Let me see if I can. Oh, cool. Look. Ta-da, really clean. Perfect. So what else do we have here? We have completed, and Victorinox says this is also a tool. Do you believe that? Can be. So let's go here to the top, and we can be finished with the tools that we have. This is the traditional tweezer, and there is nothing to say. Really cool, but as you could see before, the pliers are really good addition to this one. You have around 3 millimeters, more or less, 2.5 or 2.5 millimeter thickness. So it's really good, and also lets you work when you have something in your skin, or maybe if you are doing some trekking, can help you out with things on your feet. So that's all of it. I believe if I forget something, I don't think I do. So then these are all the tools that you can find here, but I'm going to give you other opinions regarding this knife as a whole in the next part. And another tool that we have, of course, is the punch hole. Again, lockable, so totally safe. And in the Swiss CHAMP, it's here on the back. So the size, as you can see, they are relatively the same. Yeah, the SwissTool is a bit bigger or longer, and the width, this is also a bit thicker. So what I want to show you here is, if you want to dig a hole in the wood, how easy it is. I'm applying almost no force, basically, just a bit, and you can see that I'm going without a problem. Okay, that's so deep. I'm gonna try to clean it a bit. You can see the hole over there, really clean. Let me try to do the same with the Swiss CHAMP. Again, it's hard to grab this. If I want to grab it like this, then I have the problem that this folds back, so it's not so nice. So I have to grab it like that. It's a bit uncomfortable because I want to show you in the camera, but my full grip would be like this. And again, you have to have some sympathy for your fingers. But when I do this, let me see, more or less that, a bit more perhaps. Here I have to do a bit more force because of the position of the tool, and the result, you know, it's also okay. I would say this one is cleaner, but could be the wood too. I just show you how easy it is to dig through things, you know. From the if I had to choose one, I would choose this one from the SwissTool, of course, because it is easier in this position. You have more grip like that, and you can do more force. And if it is not enough, you can also do it like that, so then you have a thinner grip to work. In this one, yes, you're limited, and then also when it bends back, then you're a bit complicated to work on. So here we have the Swiss CHAMP and also the SwissTool. Both of them have a saw, so let me find them. This is the knife, and here is the saw. And the Swiss CHAMP has it over here. As you can see the difference, the SwissTool is thinner and a bit shorter, but the advantage of this one is that you can be locked. So this is really good. You are sure when you are sewing that this will not bend against your finger, whilst this one, you can see it's not lockable, so when you are cutting, it can be that this goes back. So I will cut first this log, which has around 3 centimeters diameter, and I will cut it first with this one, with the SwissTool, and then I will do it with the Swiss Champ. So okay, as you can see, after a while, I'll tell you the time down there when how much it took me to cut this, but you can see it is a very clean cut, and I guess it also depends how well your setup is. So here I don't have no support, so I'm holding it with my hand, so it's quite tricky. But if you are cutting a tree directly from the branch, for sure it will be easier to apply more force into the tool. So that was with this one, and then I will try with the other one. But as you can see there, a really precise cut. Okay, now I'm going to try the same with the Swiss Champ. Again, this time I had to be careful because this can bend and cut me, especially when I'm cutting this around 3 centimeters diameter. Okay, that went relatively fast. Again, a really clean cut, as you can see, even better than the other one. I must say that this Swiss Champ is totally new, so I didn't use this before, while the other one I already used. But you can see also the difference in size regarding the thickness or how wide they are. And also from this point of view, you see that this one is thicker than this. So surprisingly, this cut better than the SwissTool. So now it's time to criticize this tool, or better said, let's find the design flaws. I don't believe there is something specific that you could say this is wrong with this tool. It's more the concept. Because when you are going for the Swiss Champ, you also have to think that you are going for a big thing. And let me measure it. You have around 9 centimeters length. The width, if I capture all the tools also protruding to the sides, you have around 2.4, 2.5 maybe centimeters. Yeah, 2.3, let's say. But here it's a bit thicker. It is thick, but the big problem is this one here. Look at this. You have 3 centimeters. This 3 centimeters is what I believe is the biggest problem with this tool. I wouldn't put this thing on my pocket. Let me see how heavy it is. 186 grams. To give you an idea what a watch weighs, like this Chisel that I have, this is pure metal, is 120. This feels heavy in the hand, but this tool is 60 grams more. And this is something that you should be aware of. This is a tool that you buy to keep in your backpack. This is a tool you buy to keep in your car. This is something that you buy to keep in your desktop, maybe there on top or down, just to help you when you're doing something. You say, oh, I remember that I had this placed in that position. Because if you were in the pants, you're going to damage the seat if you put it in your rear pockets. If you put it in the front pockets, it's going to be annoying when you're sitting. because it is so big and you cannot do nothing about this. So if you want a Swiss champ, you have to accept this thing. Other than this, there are some flaws that, yeah, I could say, for example, what is the use of this small screwdriver here? The position is cumbersome, so even if it is a long one, you cannot use it properly. Then you have, for example, here, all these ones are good enough, I would say, but then you have this for the fish. Maybe it can be useful, but I don't think you need this so dramatically. You say, oh, I went fishing and I forgot to bring my fishing tool. Or I don't know, I'm hiking through the woods and like, oh, I want to have some fish now, so I will go and I will use my my Swiss Army knife to be able to pet my fish and eat it nicely later. So this is something that this tool could be removed, in my opinion, of course. Always have to consider that this design is really also old and traditional and classic. So there are things that are fitting that perhaps out of this idea they should be kept there. But other than this, I really like the other stuff that I showed you before. So yeah, the only design flaw is its size. But this is something you know already before you go and buy this tool. So how much I pay for this one? Here you will find the price. And this one is a particular one because I could buy this directly from the Victorinox shop in Switzerland. And I could find this one with the translucent caps in blue, which I found really, really beautiful. But as you can see, they scratch also easily. But I think that's normal with these tools. Okay, let's arrive to a conclusion then. Is it worth it to buy this tool? And you may say, hey, why are you showing the package now at the end? And actually not, because this is another competitor of Victorinox to this one, in my opinion. And of course, is another format, and it is the SwissTool. Funny enough, this one has almost the same size when you put it like that. But from this point of view, it's thinner. But this is another concept because this is a tool that you have to open, and then you have a full set of pliers versus this one, for example, that you have here. And this is a huge difference. Also, on this one, you have most of all of the tools you have, not most of them, but all of them you have here on the outside you can access. And the biggest thing is that you can lock this tool. So everything that you open, all of them, doesn't matter what, you can lock it. You have to press down here and then you can bring it back into position. This is the biggest flaw of this one. And let's say if you're working with a saw, which is really sharp, and if you want to work with confidence, then if this bends, then you're going to grab your finger like that, and then it's not going to be pretty. While this one can be locked. All of these tools can be locked on the SwissTool. So this is something interesting and important as well. You also get this hook to attach to the side, and then on top of that, you also get these bits to connect here. So I would say that regarding, of course, price is of course you also have this holder you can put here through your belt, and you can carry it properly to your side. Because as I told you in the design flaws of this one, you're going to buy this Swiss Champ to keep it in your car, to keep it in your office, to keep it in your house, to keep somewhere in your backpack, and because of the size and the weight. And when you have this one, I will try to weight it alone. Hopefully you can see that. That's wrong. Excuse me. Of course, because I want to do this improvised, let's say, it's going to be wrong. Let me reset it. Okay. This here, 218 grams versus, 211 versus 186. It's not so much the difference, but if you want to be fair, let's say you put this one here and this and this, and in total 346. So yes, it's heavier when you carry this, but as you are not going to carry, I believe, this on your pocket anyways, at least you can put this one on your belt. So this comes to me the question, which one is more useful for your everyday life? And you have to answer that question to yourself, because of course this is a traditional design, it is a good one, but I believe that this one could also work totally fine and could be even more capable, as you are going to anyways be carrying this on a pocket, and not, but on the pocket of your backpack, the same as this. You're going to keep this one on your car, the same as this. You're going to keep this on your house, the same as this, and you're going to keep this on your desk, the same as this. So this is the point where I say, what should I do? Which one is more useful? I wouldn't say they are complementary, but there are some tools that this one has that this one doesn't have. And in this, yeah, you win and you lose. But if you want to see a review from this one, please write it down. I would gladly do this to show you what is the differences, and perhaps will help you to decide. All in all, I believe that the Swiss Champ is actually a champ, with all what it means on the weight, on the size, on the quality, on the capabilities that this tool gives you. But you should be aware what you're getting in this tool set that for sure will help you to have many things in your daily life. So it's up to you to decide if you want to incorporate this one into your daily routines. So I just wanted to say thank you for watching. If you have questions, if you have some requests, and also you have some suggestions, please do it. I will read every comment that you write. Don't forget to give it a like, to subscribe. This will help me, and I will see you next time in the other videos.